I thought you were going to do the talk.
Come on.
Okay, my name is Jim Amy. This is my wife, Tony. That's not why I said it.
I know, but you deserve it.
The people know. The people who set this up is actually right here. This fella here, Dave Price. Okay? Dave Price, we just helped advertise it, that's all. And we also have Jeff Seach, who's going to be here with another megaphone or whatever these things are called.
Yeah.
And where's Ronnie Jenkins? Ronnie Jenkins has
This guy.
paths. He has done so much to make this a safe walk for you folks.
He a big thank you.
I haven't seen motivation like his for years. He's done a lot to clear things up. Where do you see the steps that go up to the picnic area? It's amazing how clean it is. Looks just like it did back in the 80s.
You gotta go that way.
What direction are we going? I gotta keep up. We're gonna have to talk about it.
And turn. Hey, and turn.
I can't turn.
Tyson's here.
Oh, here. Okay, we have a VIP here. All right, several VIPs.
Come on.
Sir.
Come on.
This is Bishop Tyson of the church, Mount Calvary Pentecostal Church.
Dave
They
Price.
have allowed us. We are not illegal this year. For the first time. They
Sorry,
called us
Bishop.
up and they said, "Hey, we'd like to talk to you." And we thought, "Uh-oh." But it was all good. I mean, I was very impressed because we hadn't been out here legally since, well, my last time was 1976. That's when I left. I worked here and got fired and then rehired on another.
They don't want to hear about it.
All right. What I'm gonna ask is, and I hate to put them on the spot.
Yeah, you can say on the spot.
Yeah, you're on the spot.
But I want to see if the Reverend would say a prayer for us.
Oh, yeah.
Say some words before we go out. Do you mind using this thing? Thank you, sir.
I want to say good afternoon to everybody. And welcome back to Idora Park. Mr. and Mrs. Amy and the Idora Park experience, we're just grateful and happy that we're able to partner with you today in this experience here at Idora Park. Those of us who grew up in the Youngstown area know how much this area and this space has meant to all of us and the great sentimental value that it has to our community. So when Mr. Amy and I talked about the Idora Park experience, we were more than happy and more than glad to collaborate with him and invite you back to Idora Park on today. And I believe that the revitalization of this area is a big part of the regrowth and the redevelopment of Youngstown. And we're just very happy and grateful that we're able to be here with you today. Let's give Mr. and Mr. Amy a big hand for putting this together for us. Let me pray with you, Father. We thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the goodness and the grace of God that has been extended unto us. We thank you for life, for health, and for strength, and allowing us to gather together this afternoon here again at Idora Park. Many of us have many beautiful memories down through the years of being here with our friends and with our families, and we thank you that you have allowed us to be here again. We thank you for how you are blessing the city of Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley, how our area is experiencing a revitalization, new growth, new development, new opportunities. And Father, I pray that today in Jesus' name will be the beginning of a new collaborative effort between our church and our community. For all of us want to see Youngstown be a great place to live, to work, to play, to raise families, and to experience the favor and the grace of God upon our lives and upon our families. Now walk with us today. Make this a pleasant, a beautiful, and a memorable experience. Bless us and make us a blessing. Meet all of the needs of all of the residents of our communities. Thank you for your favor, for your grace, for your kindness. Look down upon us today from heaven, and may the grace of God be upon us all. In the name of Jesus Christ, thank God. Amen.
You all realize, don't you, you're making history today. You're too close to it to really recognize it right now, but you are making history because it's the first time a crowd like this has legally been on this property. And we're going to start a new partnership with the church. All right, we talked about there are some things that were said in the meeting that I'm not going to go over right now, but things are going to get good, okay?
Over here.
Okay.
They can hear me.
Mayor.
Oh, the mayor. Where is it? There he is. Hold on. Hold on.
Another one.
Hold on. I see the mayor here.
What up, Mayor?
Nice!
McDowell, Mayor of Youngstown.
Yeah, I hope. You know what? If I can make it real quick, they would like to hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Really quick, everybody, if you have a blue Chevy Colorado or a silver Chevy Trax, you are blocking the only exit on Woodford Avenue. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you. Really, thank you for being here.
So I just want to say thank you, number one, to the folks who literally have preserved. Preservation. We've seen demolition enough in the city of Youngstown.
Absolutely.
Preservation may be something that is foreign to some folks, but to carry over something, to preserve for generations is no small thing. Because what Jim and his wife have been able to do is preserve. But there's something beneath preservation because Mount Calvary Church has had preservation on the mind as well.
Absolutely.
And that preservation comes with a responsibility. And that responsibility is rooted in what I like to say stewardship. That is how you handle preservation. Is that it requires a stewardship that goes beyond ownership.
Yes.
Anybody can talk about what they own. We can talk about all the owners of the vehicles in this parking lot. Some of you are blocking entrances, like he said. And I guarantee you don't want to admit to ownership at that point of whoever's blocking. But I will tell you now that beyond ownership, we can talk about who owns the property. We know who that is. We can look at the deed. We can look at the county auditor site. We know who owns a wonderful piece of the collection of Idora Park that was on this property. We can talk ownership on both sides of this megaphone. But I would like to point you to stewardship, because ownership is only one level. Stewardship speaks about how we've taken care of things that we own.
That's good, sir.
That what they have done, they built out infrastructure to take care of the things that they owned. They went to great lengths to acquire what they own. And they have gifted to the city of Youngstown for preservation in our historical society, that collection that they have owned and stewarded well for so many years. And I thank you for that. That is a homecoming that we should celebrate. Even right now, let's take time to celebrate that moment. Thank you all. Give a hand clap to them for preserving, for stewarding well that collection. So thank you all. And to the church, I'm not sure the exact number of years of ownership. I believe it is 4 decades.
Yes.
4 decades of ownership of the property. But a stewardship that says from generation to generation, from pastor to pastor, from bishop to bishop, from leadership to leadership, they have stewarded this property. And I am thankful for the opportunity to stand before you now and say that in partnership, that's what's going to bring revitalization that he spoke about.
Absolutely.
That we've had conversations with Jim and those folks who have stewarded the collection to make sure it got to the Historical Society, to make sure that it's preserved for years and decades to come. And this church has owned this property, has stewarded it for more than 4 decades. And literally, we have to be thankful for them, because this, we know in Youngstown, could have been a dumping ground.
Yeah.
We saw that attempt over at the McGuffey Mall site on the east side. Could have been. But now you see that site now cleaned up and shovel ready for economic development and revitalization. Today, as you stand here now, simultaneously, there is an open house at the Chill Can plant as well. Because we're talking about now a city owning that property, and how do we steward it well? How do we make the investment to make sure that that property on the east side has its investment and return on investment? And I don't want to speak for the church, but I know that they have not owned and stewarded this property for no reason.
That's right.
That they have a vision and a plan that brings that stewardship to fruition so that this can have a return on investment. So I want you to know that all across the city of Youngstown, we are not just talking stewardship. We're talking return on investment from that stewardship. And that's a deeper calling to all of us. That if we want a return on investment, then we're going to have to roll up our sleeves, because many hands are what make light work of the challenges that we have before the city of Youngstown. So I thank you for the opportunity to share with you, and I thank the church and I thank the Amy's for the work that they've done to bring us to this moment. Thank you.
Chance to do that. So we're just going to announce, if you step on this property, you are assuming risk yourself. In past years, we've been criminals. We've come in through the back gate and we've made the same speech.
You're in the news right now.
Okay. They know we were criminals.
Hey, edit that out.
Yeah, edit that out.
We're given the same.
Come on now.
For here, it's at your risk.
Don't call ICE.
This property can be dangerous. There's hills, it's wet, there's trees down, there's bushes down. Go explore, enjoy, have a good time, ask lots of questions, have a wonderful day. But if you get hurt, it's on you.
And the bishop is here to pray for you and absolve you of being a criminal.
Second to that, every year when we've done this, Jim has asked that we leave the property better than we found it. So for all of you that heard the request this week about bring trash cans, bring gloves, bring bags, the reason for that is we'd like you to take those bags. We have some extra ones on the table over here. If you're so inclined, please leave it better than you found it. If you find trash, put it in a bag. If you bring it back and put it by our truck, we will dispose of it. There's no requirement to do this. We'd just like everybody to pitch in on a little spring cleaning. Respect the property. Have a wonderful day. We normally get 100 people, so we're a little overwhelmed, a little disorganized, but we're going to break away into a couple of groups with a couple of people willing to take on some leadership. So if you just start to make your way back over here,
Yeah, I don't,
go
we're
with
not
God.
posting pictures.
Enjoy your day.
Again, Ronnie Jenkins has spent a lot of time clearing this lot. And it's probably the first time in 43 years it's actually looked this good. No staircase.
Yeah, they got them cleaned up, right? This is all full of grass.
Ronnie Jenkins has spent days cleaning off this staircase for everybody. It's a lot better than last year. It's a lot better than last year. If you look to your right, and yeah, there's trash there, but back here, where you see these stone footers, that's your jackrabbit station. Right back behind me. But this obviously, it goes up to the picnic hill. In front of me, it goes to the ball field. And in that baseball field, many teams played up there. You had major league teams. I can think of one right off the bat, the Cincinnati Reds. You also had Negro League teams, minor league teams. You had the Youngstown Patricians that actually won a world championship in football before the NFL was formed up here in this field. You had the King and his court. You had softball teams like the California Cuties that they played up in here. And who remembers the King and his court?
Eddie Painter.
There you go.
How about the Queen and her mates?
Yeah. And they come off the top of my head, but they all played in that ball field along with the Bay City Rollers. Oh, David Cassidy, all up in here. But everybody's making their way up here. We're going to go up here, and we're going to take part of the train path
This is a long walk.
that has been cleared off. Just watch out for sticks on the path. But if you get up there, I'll get up there and we'll make our way that way. You see these cement footers? They're all along here. There's some down lower. Those held the wooden benches for the original outdoor theater. The outdoor theater would have been down where we all remember, I think, the Cheyenne Shootout. And that would have been the stage looking up this way. So I'll point that out again when we get all the way up and around. This is where the train crossed. It came from this way to my right, and it went that way. Now Ronnie, and this is Ronnie, this guy has done amazing work. We're going to walk somewhat this way on the old train track, and it'll take us behind Kittyland.
Now watch your steps, because there are some stumps. David, tell them to watch your steps.
Please watch your step. They went to Mackenzie Square in Hubbard. That train is still running up in Pymatuning Deer Park, Jamestown. As you're coming up this way, this is the path the train would have taken. to where those people are parked in that grass, and it was an out and back. But one of the trains didn't get up the second hill. They sent another train, and they collided, and they had a death. Well, after that death, the ridership on the Dip the Dips, it dropped. It was made by T.M. Hart and Company. They brought in Ed Vettel from Westview Park down in Pittsburgh to redesign what we remember the Jackrabbit. But it ran down this tree line, the telephone poles, made the left, and if you look down, I don't know, to like my 9 o'clock position, you'll see cattails. That's where it turned around and came back.
Did it really?
But we're going to keep walking on the train path.
Get a lot of cardio.
Yeah. So, what was like in the area to the left? Was the backside of? Yeah, the backhoe. And all the.
Just a little loop up and back down.
Like a pillow.
All right.
Where are we at now?
Come in here. I'm sorry, actually up to your left would be Picnic Hill. Back behind me, we're now in Kittyland.
No way.
The train track would have went off to your right, but Ronnie didn't have time to clear it all off.
And there's a big old tree back there.
Sorry.
First time in 2 years.
I tried.
To get up there.
This is awesome. You did a great job.
Okay, stop for a while.
Thank you.
Let us catch up.
Well, we can do a catch up right here.
As
They're all gonna
come
come this
down
way.
here, you look at this cement.
Excuse me. Sorry.
All up in here is a whole semicircle. That's your bathhouse. It was behind Kittyland. You're actually walking in it right now, too. Yeah. It makes the whole semicircle. So behind me would actually put Kittyland.
Wow. What is that? Is that a center floor? Yeah.
That's when the beams that went up there.
My door dug about 600 feet down and hit a salt spring. And it became a saltwater bath. We're going to loop around this tree to your right.
Yes,
You're
y'all
going to
wanna
see an
hurt
orange
the tree.
cone, and it'll get us back on the path because the tree has fallen.
I love that little camera. Ow. Ooh, got me.
Behind my
Oh, you got
position
hit with the jagger.
would have been the turnaround for the Hooterville Highway. Ronnie didn't have time to clear it out, so we're going to loop back up and come back into Kittyland.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it. That was.
A souvenir. I just picked this up off the ground. It's part of the building that
Beach house.
surrounded the Kittyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, you know what? I want to put it upside down.
As we come up here, there's a step down, so be careful.
So Dave, over to our right, there's a house, but where's the other parking lot? There's no parking lot. I'm getting there. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're getting there.
How'd you get around that fast?
Ian.
How you doing?
Yeah,
We're actually looping into Kittyland, and we're going to come out at the upper Midway.
Oh, okay. Above where the airplanes were?
Yeah.
Okay. That would have been where the tour world was, the carousel was.
Where Ronnie cleared all this out.
Yeah.
Make it really easy.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Trust me, it's coming up quick. If you were to look at it from the rocket ride, we're on the right side of it. Okay. As you guys come on, I'll wait.
Come on over
I know
here.
where you're standing.
Where am I standing?
I see.
Where? It's in the back. The icy stall. Yeah. Just kind of.
All right. As you come up here, I'm standing at the exact location of the icy stall. Some people call it slush puppies, but Idora called it icy.
Was it on the bottom of where the airplanes were?
No.
Okay, okay.
But it was right next to this other path that goes up to the picnic hill. And it's a flat piece of land, you're standing on it, but this is where the icy stall would have been.
Wow.
We're gonna make our way up straight ahead. Up above me is Picnic Hill.
Okay.
Right here, this cement is your train station, where the CP Huntington train came in that way and went off to my right.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty good. Oh, you're pretty. Yeah, 'cause you were right.
Now we're gonna get to everybody's favorite location. What is it? What was your favorite food?
French fries.
You got it. There it is. Right here. This is your French fry stand.
Can you smell them?
There was a path that came down that way, and another path that came down this way, and you can see the cut in the land, because if you look at the pictures, it was cut into the ground. But this is the French fry stand.
Close your eyes and breathe in and act like you know that the French fries are here.
This tree behind me, and I say this every time I do this, this tree is a witness tree. This tree is in any photograph of the Upper Midway, looking at the arcade, looking at the French fry stand. Years ago, I remember one of the caretakers up here for the church told me that he was told not to cut this tree down. And this tree is still here.
I spotted our youngest person here, little baby. Okay,
Now,
still, where's the...
if you came down this path from Picnic Hill to my left, and you kind of see a semicircle around all this overgrowth. There was grass, there was flowers, there was parked benches. There was also grass around that tree with parked benches. That is a witness tree.
Yeah, we're going.
Ronnie has done a fantastic job of clearing this out. This is the base to the rocket ride. Right up here where I'm standing.
Those are all the concession stands.
I'm actually right now standing in, I don't know, pizza, sloppy joes, cotton candy. But this edge, inside this edge would be all the concession stands underneath the rocket. The base, that's the base for the rocket ride.
There's the steps. And that's the top. Remember the steps. He cleared all this out. You should have seen it before. You're awesome. This is awesome.
I try. Just watch, there are still pins sticking out on that wall you could trip over.
We're gonna go this way. About where you are. I don't know your name. But right up in here.
The young lady is standing.
Be your caterpillar. Okay? It'd be right up in this area. That phone pole shows the location if you look at pictures. If you come over here, there it is. It's got a cone on it. That was the stone water fountain.
Yes, I remember that.
Jim Amy has it. It's going to the Mahoney Valley Historical Society. But the grass is the outline of that fountain, and the orange cone is the pipe that obviously would have fed the water.
There was one more, but...
Yeah, there was another one down by the Wildcat, but it got destroyed years ago. I'm kind of going back this way, but if you see the two big trees and this phone pole, in between them would have been the paratrooper.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
To the left of this phone pole would have been a house. And it had a women's bathroom in it. Somebody last year said communal bathroom. But it sat pretty much right behind me. Take you down here. Who remembers the Hooterville Highway? Yeah, I'm coming back.
Oh, you're fine. We're kind of just wondering ourselves. Stay out of the crowd. You got it, Dave.
All right. This is the Hooterville Highway station. The cars would have came in from my left. The track is still here.
Look on the ground.
They've taken the metal, but the track is still here. And if you remember the station, in the early to the closing of the park, I believe it pretty much the last ride Idora added, there was a staircase that went up over the station and went to this cement path. This cement path would lead you to a ride called the Fantastic Flying Machine.
That's the planes I was talking about.
The last one I knew was at Conneaut Lake Park. There's still one, I believe, up at Cedar Point. Now you can walk up here to my left, but there's a bridge that's no longer there. But the track is still here. The track would have went off to my right, looped all the way up around the backside of Kitty Land, and came down over to my left. And we'll get over there in a minute. But this path would lead to a ride, and the cement is still in the middle. That would be your Fantastic Flying Machines. There's also, and with the tree down and all that, there's a cement circle that goes all the way around.
remember this.
There's the bridge. It's gone.
I can tell you. I'm getting behind. I'm getting behind. Wait for me, Dave. They're consuming me. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah, really. Excuse me. I got consumed back there.
All right.
A lot of
You guys
people.
all kind of stand there, and you'll see where I'm going, and I'll shout loud enough that you can hear me.
Yeah, sorry.
The Hooterville Highway track would have came in right through here, and there's a beam there, there's some bricks here. There was a tunnel that you went through before you came back out and went into the station. So, where you see these bricks up here, where I'm standing, behind me would be the baby Wildcat, protruding out of kitty land. On the front of that tunnel from the Hooterville Highway, Idora repurposed a lot of things. They put rides in storage, they bring it back out later and say it's brand new. Gotta make money. But when we get out of here, I'm gonna take you over to the Helter Skelter bumper cars.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people call the Lost River Rapids the Tunnel of Love. No, it was over here.
Was it?
Yes. But the front of that tunnel coming out of the Hooterville Highway, the original, who remembers the Kooky Castle?
Yes.
Okay, there was a ride before that called the Gold Nugget.
Yeah.
Same style ride. They basically call it a pretzel ride.
Oh.
Well, when they switched over to the Kooky Castle, they had a world-renowned guy come in named Bill Tracy. He redesigned it into the Kooky Castle, but they took that facade, and it was on the front of the tunnel coming out of this Hooterville Highway. So if you ever find a picture of the Golden Nugget, look at that, then find a picture of the Hooterville Highway, it's the same thing. Now also, in the spot we just left, was one of the parking lots, okay? Right where these trees are to my right, before the Hooterville Highway, you gotta go way back. If you've been to Kennywood, they still have a ride like this. They were hot rod cars. They ran on a wooden track. They would be off to my right. In that space also would have been one of Idora Park's coasters called the Wild Mouse. It occupied this spot too. To the ground. We're gonna go up here behind me. What this is up here is your Helter Skelter bumper cars. Right up here on this platform. And like I said, be careful if you come up here, because again, when it burned, all the nails dropped. I could just take a gander down and find one right off the bat. Like right there.
So where was the house?
For those wondering where the bumper cars stop, be right here to my left. That's the end of that platform. In between there and the next building, there was a basketball game. And now what we're walking in front of would be originally the Fun House, turned into the Tunnel of Love on one side, and the Fun House on the left side. The Tunnel of Love turned into the Wacky Shack in the 60s. And of course, the last days of the park, it was Laugh-N' Lena's Looney Land.
And I have Laugh-N' Lena's shoes. I do.
Up in here. Up in here.
That's when they made shoes with
Right.
They're like Buster.
Was it Wellington Street? Okay, was it across the street? Yeah, it was good because we walked by, right?
You parked across the street? Yeah. Walk across the street and come in the gate.
I'll point something out right now. Where I'm standing would be the Gold Nugget Dark Ride, the Kooky Castle, but somebody just picked my brain, and we walked by it. The gate over there that looks out to the street, that's Parkview. The original 7 acres that Idora bought is that parking lot across the street. The Park and Fall Street Railway Company acquired that 7 acres. They put a garage up here and a turnaround. That turnaround eventually was used by electric buses, and regular WRTA buses. And you should remember that canopy that used to be out there on that street.
Jim has it.
Jim has it at the museum.
You got to go to the
Basically,
museum. Oh, yeah, definitely.
behind me would be your first aid station.
Yes, I remember that.
To the left is your original dance hall. Became the
Yeah.
Crazy Horse Saloon.
Yep.
Heidelberg Gardens.
Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't around then.
Wacky Shack, wasn't that over there?
I think Jeff's over there, Dave.
Yeah, he's going back up. He just passed the prize.
If you guys stop right there, and if you look at the lay of the land, you'd be walking downhill to get to the Crazy Horse Saloon, Heidelberg Gardens, the original dance hall. But if you come down here on the cement, you're going to see it's raised up. This building burned. I believe there was a total of 6 fires on this property, dating back to the 1930s. But when this structure burned, and I look at this lay of the land, something's got to be under there. It just doesn't make sense. But that is behind all you guys, where the Heidelberg Crazy Horse Saloon was. I don't want anybody to come down here, but for 42 years, there's actually been coaster grease back here. Where the land dips down, that would be underneath the Crazy Horse Saloon, Heidelberg Gardens. If you worked here, where did you punch in? Underneath there, right? But back there along the fence line, there's 2 fences. There's one fence, and then, a couple yards later, there's another fence. That was the original trolley line coming off Parkview to take you back that way. But there's still barrels of coaster grease. All right, again, don't follow me. But behind, sorry about that. Behind me would be Idora Bingo. Okay? So we're at that section of the park. Behind there used to be a bathroom. And there's still a red platform with all the holes for the toilets. It used to cost people 10 cents. Unless you wanted to go to the right, you're going to start getting into other Midway buildings. Because there's your witness tree off to your left, my right.
Where's the I'm getting there.
Down in here would be Knock the Kitties, Hot Dog on a Stick. Be all off here to your right, my left.
So yeah, this is the Midway.
And yes, we did secure the only other fire hydrant, as we're going to come up here.
The one that
Which is down there.
Yep, it didn't work. Right there.
Not that we're thieves or
I
anything.
want to put Ronnie right at the fire hydrant. If you look at any picture of the arcade, you're going to see that fire hydrant where he's standing.
Wow.
Right here was another cement path. Sorry, another cement path that went up towards Picnic Hill.
You're doing good.
Right about where I'm standing, I'm going to look to my right. From here to the wall you see up there. This is your arcade area.
Oh, I remember
The
this.
arcade was right up in here.
I remember this is right here. Going up like a hill, go up into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the penny.
As you're coming down, there's a tree that we all kind of passed up here at the front. Kind of looks dead. That's another witness tree. That's a tree you'll see in any picture of the Wildcat.
Yeah, I was going to say, Wildcat's right over here.
As I'm right here, I am standing in the station to the Wildcat. It ran behind me. You can see behind me, there's a wall, and it went out that way around these pine trees, obviously, and you guys remember, come on. It looked that way, turned, and on the back tree line would have been the lift hill.
Yeah.
Also underneath there, and I don't know if you can see the people back there with the red shirt, there was a house. And I've had many talks with Thomas John, TJ from Hot 101, WSRD, 4 o'clock high, spring thing. He told me a story that they used to get bands in there, in the green room. They called it the green room. And they had no idea that this coaster was still active. And of course they were waiting to go on stage for the spring thing. And he said like, yeah, we feed them bologna sandwiches and we were drinking. And all of a sudden, here came this coaster.
The whole house was here.
Yeah.
You got to also remember a story he told me. The Eagles played at Spring thing. Yeah, Hotel California.
when they were here.
The song they were riding on was Take It Easy. And the story told to TJ was they heard about All Spring Thing and all the bands, and they were on their way between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. They decided to stop. They got those guys in that house underneath the Wildcat. And TJ said, yeah, they kind of looked at the guys from the WHOT, WSRD and said, yeah, we're not going to do this thing too much. We're going to be big. And those guys kind of looked at him and said, yeah, right, sure you are. And they turned out to be the Eagles. This guy ran the Wacky Shack back in '79 when I worked here. Bill Welch. Off to your left, with the all Midway building, up to that cinder block wall. Who remembers the fish pond?
Yes.
I worked there.
There you go. As we make our way up here, and if you look down here into that valley, you're going to see cement footers. That's your Wildcat. Where I'm standing right now is the base to the carousel. In fact, I'd be underneath the carousel housing. Now Jane's Carousel in Dumbo, New York.
Thank God for James. No.
Left.
What's that long right there?
Carousel.
It was like,
Yeah, they'll get you.
trying to kill me.
I'm walking backwards the whole time. I'm trying not to.
So, let me get up there. All right. I'm going to get up here. There's a break in the Midway buildings. There's a set of Midway buildings there. There's a set to my left. But these stairs went up to Picnic Hill. And Ronnie's cleared them off. If anybody wants to go up them, go for it. I'm going to make my way down this way. Right in about here, there used to be a cement path that went underneath the middle of the Wildcat. Underneath there were bathrooms. So off to your left, my right, we're going to start with, there used to be a popcorn stand. Okay? Skee ball. Jim made me work the skee ball after he got let go from the football throw. I won't go into that. Next to those, there was also another game. I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. But the biggest game in this building off to my left, your right, would have been Fascination.
Yeah.
Okay, as you make your way down here, I'm standing at the edge of all the Midway buildings. In this section, where you see some boat poles in the back, that's your Idora Park souvenir stand. And then the Midway games ran all the way up 12 o'clock my way. There'd be a little gap, and then where I'm walking right now, I'm at the Cheyenne Shootout.
What's a log behind you?
Now in this location, 5 rides occupied after the theater. I'll get into that in a minute. But you had the Ferris wheel, you had the, believe it or not, Tilt-A-Whirl, Turbo, Skydiver, Roto Jets, all occupied this area before they actually put in the Cheyenne Shootout. But if you go back, and we're paying attention at the beginning, I'm also standing on the stage to the original Idora Theater. And it would have been looking up onto the hill where I pointed out the cement wood benches. Eventually this got covered over. Straight across the street would be the original roller coaster. It's called the Figure 8. Then it was reconverted into a ride called the Firefly, which was still the Figure 8, but they made the dips lower. There was a park down in Altoona that still has, I think, the last one ever, but that park's not open. Where this big tree is, that'd be your park office.
Space between you and the people that
All right, as you're coming down here, I'm going to get over here. This would all be your Lost River. The rapids, the Lost River, you're all back in here.
and you guys claimed that elephant, didn't you?
Yeah.
There's still some of the cement. There was cement that ran underneath the tracks. You know, they had the metal trough. There's still some of the cement down there. I just, if you guys want to go, that's on you. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I'm gonna.
It's a tile platform. It's an old tile platform, red, white tile platform down in here.
Not anymore, no.
It's down
He's
there.
talking about.
It's probably.
He's talking about the one up there I cleaned off
It's farther up that way. You go down
under the Wildcat.
Oh, you're talking about under the Wildcat?
Yes.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
There's
all
a house underneath there and a house underneath the Jackrabbit.
it's all cleaned off. You can see it now.
Oh, wow.
Is that your recording?
I think I am. I don't know if I still ever got it.
Yeah, you see him now.
On here, I guess. Okay.
The structure that the boats were in was that held on the water.
Indicate way
That was up north.
Okay, as you come down here again, off to your right, this is all the Lost River. Off to your left. And I'll go over here. There's a wall in front of me. This is the station for the turtle. As you come down here, you're going to have to navigate some trees, but you're going to see the center base to the turtle. The motors from our turtle ended up at Conneaut Lake Park. Nobody knows where they are now.
Just watch your step. Like right here.
You want to take people straight ahead.
Right here is the center base to the turtle ride. Just kind of carefully make your way towards me.
I should have cleaned these
There's
up.
Ronnie.
Again.
I'm still live.
I'm still circle fly.
Yeah, I know my video's not the best. I just want to get them out here.
I could have made a walking path all around this. No, look at it.
No, you've done more than.
Oh, could have been a nice path there.
No, I know what
Oh,
All right, as you come out here, you're going to see cement footers. That's where your turtle track would have went all the way around. And as you come out of there, what we're standing on again is the original trolley line. It came off Parkview, came up here. There used to be a lake where Putt Putt is, and it looped around the lake and dropped people off at the ballroom. To your left is going to be the 18-hole mini golf, and a lot of the structures are still here.
There's one. Down underneath.
yeah, I never came down here.
Up there. The poles I showed you, they're over there.
Yeah, I found them.
So watch your footing. As we come up here, we're going to loop up to your left, and we're going to walk through the mini golf. Here's a hole off to your right. You'll see a lot of them. They're still up here.
Here's one. There's still pipes sticking out.
Somebody else cleaned this. I didn't do that.
So right now we're up here in the mini golf.
Did you make a map of this whole thing?
If somebody's been up here cleaning too. With a broom or something.
Here's another. We're going to come out, and you're going to walk right over a mini golf hole. One off to your right. Say hi, Ron.
What's up?
IdoraPark.org.
Oh, the .org was gone. Oh, you're making fun of me.
All right, as we come out of here, off to your right is going to be the area where the yo-yo, the spider, the Rocco planes were. Right in front of you is going to be where the ballroom was, and we made the whole loop.
Yeah. Wow. Right there?
Right there.
Can I see that for a second?
The lay of the land.
Oh, the boss is on.
Just because there was a basement.
Just a little tidbit for you guys. The guy that's been talking to you the whole time was an Idora chipmunk. His brother was a rabbit, and his friend was, or his brother was the rooster, and his friend was the rabbit.
You guys?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife for that. 1979.
Wow.
So somebody who knows the
But we
park
made the
well.
loop. You guys are free to go wander if you want. Be careful. Again, the church, myself, Tim or Tony, we're not liable, but we had to do it this way because for the first time in 42 years, the church is working with us. So,
I think we have.
enjoy yourselves. Go have fun.
The Indians camped down there and she would take them food.
It was left from the day.
But somebody asked me about the Idora name,
Yeah.
and I took a picture from my
Nobody
research.
knows. There's 3 theories.
I've got,
You got a definitive one?
like I got 6 possibilities.
Oh my.
I ruled out the Codys. Their farm was called Idora Place, but they were here in the 30s and 40s.
That was his
Okay,
farm.
yeah, that's
That's
out.
after.
So, Idora Indians, people say, where were the Idora Indians?
They weren't.
They were Delaware Iroquois.
Yeah.
And I think people just generalized them as Idora Indians because Latterman Falls used to be called Idora Falls.
Okay.
And German Latterman was known to hire Indians to work in that mill. Idora Ann Hively. There's the other name I just mentioned.
And that was a woman's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
The teacher contest. There was a teacher contest held. Jesse Coulter won the contest and named it Idora.
There was local kids came up with the name supposedly, right?
And there was also one of the former transportation supervisor's daughter's first name, which was Idora, or the former owner's daughter's proclaiming I Adora Park.
Oh yeah, Idora Park. Yeah.
My guess, we'll never know,
Okay.
but the name has been in existence since obviously the 1800s. There was another Idora Park out in Oakland, California. Frederick Ingersoll, who built the original coaster, the figure 8. He also built coasters out there. In fact, Herb Schmeck, that built our Wildcat, you know how many Wildcats he built? They didn't all look the same, but he named them Wildcat. Wow, my brain just goes.
Where did the Wildcats sit?
Back up that way.
Back that way. Yeah, up in the Midway.
He might not have been with us when we.
Just go walk up that way.
Right along that telephone line.
Go, yep. Down there. The carousel's right before that.
I didn't realize a lot, like I'm overwhelmed. Who remembers this? Let me get this. Who remembers this?
Howdy, folks. I'm Porky the Paper.
Yes, I remember. That's the original voice of the
Y'all remember that one, right?
That's the one that tried to eat
Wait a
my
minute.
arm.
Let me pull up another one. Do. There's one.
The lion.
That is so outdated.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still young. Now,
See if you can figure out what this ride played all the time. Drove employees nuts, trust me.
know it, yell it out.
Yeah, it's kind of low. That's the drums.
And where was the lost
Dancing in the ballroom, right here.
Okay.
You remember the ballroom? Now, if you look over here, there's a fire hydrant, a piece of junk that wouldn't work in 1984, and it's not going to work now. So this is the fire hydrant. You guys want to know how I feel about this fire hydrant? You want to know how I feel about it?
Raise your leg.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on. That's how I feel about the fire hydrant.